Hey, everybody, I'm here and it's live, and my hair is doing something weird and funky today on this side. I don't know what, but at any rate, um, good morning. I'm getting ready here to run out and get my nails done at 11:30 this morning, and it is now. Let me get my microphone situated. I'm getting ready to run out here at 11:30 and get my nails done. It is now 20 after 10 here in Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to run and get that done. So I thought I'll do a real quick get ready with me, and we'll just have a little chat this morning. I've got on my little Rudolph hoodie, and I've got my little candy cane earrings on, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get my Christmas on this morning, and I'm feeling better. And my nails look like there's that much of a gap in there because I didn't feel like going this week. But I'm feeling better, and I'm going to be out and about and running some errands today. Praise the Lord. So let's do some makeup, ladies. It's the first time I've had on makeup in uh, over a week. So I'm going to put some on today, and we're gonna look and have a little chat as we go. My voice is still kind of raspy, and I still sound funny. Let me see if I can find my. Oh, I don't know what I've done with my clip for my hair. I'll just have to do without it. I'm good. So, and I've just dropped my foundation here, and it's rolled under the desk. Let me see if I can get it. I got it with my toe. So here it is. Lord, ladies, maybe I need to just get off the live and not try it today. It looks like I'm just being clumsy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this tinted hydrator from Wet and Wild. This does contain hyaluronic acid, and I really liked this product. And I've been using it a lot because it really keeps my skin in the winter. It's really nice and moisturizing. And like I've said before, I love Mary Kay's foundation. I just can't wear it because unless I mix a couple of colors together, I just don't have, there's just not a color that matches my skin tone. And so it's this, or I can maybe do it, I could probably do it here on my video, and I just squirted that on my hand. So I'm going to, put it here so I don't waste any of this. But I want to just, if I find something I like, I want to share it with you. So this has been a good product. I've bought it 3 or 4 times, and I'm using it, and I really like it. So I think you all would like it too. I'm not being monetized in any way to say this. I just believe that if I find something I like, I'm going to tell you guys about it. And I do like this product. I think it's a pretty good product and feels nice and light on your skin. Now, this is not going to be a full coverage. This is not a full coverage type of product. This is a more like a tinted moisturizer, tinted hydrator is what it's called. And that's exactly what it is. And I really like it. So I am almost, this one is almost out. And this is available. Um, I usually get mine at Walgreens. I think the last one I got, they were on sale. I think on Amazon. Um, this is what it looks like. I'm not going to drop a link down. If you want to get it, you can just go on Amazon and get it. Because, like I said, I don't want to try to monetize this or do any of that stuff. So today we're just going to chat, and we're going to just have fun today because I haven't really done a chatty type video. I've done a couple of videos this week about last minute Christmas ideas, but today I just wanted to have a little talk because it's been a hot minute since I've done a get ready with me or even a motivational Monday because honestly I have just been really, I've been out of pocket, I've been busy, and there's just been a lot of life things going on with me. And it's been kind of difficult for me to concentrate on getting a motivational Monday together for you guys. But I am going to try to do that, and shout out, thank you, Peggy, for pointing that out to me. I am going to try to do better with that. And I think one of the things that's made it really hard for me is I am in the process once again of looking for a church, not because I don't like my old church. I do. I love my old church, but it's also 40 minutes from my house. So that's a little long of a drive, but I am really tempted to go back because I just really liked it. I like the whole situation of it. And I don't want to have to drive that far if I can help it, but I may have to. But I'm hopefully going to be visiting a church Sunday that we'll see how it goes with that. Um, and I'll let you all know. And I think that's one reason why I've been having some trouble gaining inspiration because I've not really been to a place that I feel like is home. I am really big on finding a local church body near, near where I live and near where people live because I think it's very important that we are part of the community that we live in. And I don't really want to drive any more than maybe 20 minutes to get to a church. And I can tell you there are churches around here, and I've visited 5 or 6 churches, and there's one that I do go to if, I feel like I don't want to visit one that Sunday. There's one I've been to 3 or 4 times, and if I'm just not up to, I don't feel like I'm discerning enough that particular week to, make a intelligent decision about the church, then there is one that I have been going to, but I know that it's probably not going to be my church home. So this week I'm planning on getting back out and hunting one. So much as I hate to do that, I've even given thought to doing home church and just inviting some folks over and let's study the word together. I've really thought about that, but I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go, and I don't know if that's something that I need to even consider. I'm praying about it, so we'll see. So I'm going to use some of this Mary Kay. These are products we do not have these any longer, but they are cream, and I'm trying my best to use all my cream stuff on my face because I have found that it just does better on my skin since my skin is more mature. And I'm just going to kind of blend this in. But tell me, I'd love to know in the comment section. Y'all tell me what do you all do when you feel discouraged about finding a church because that has been such a that's really been hard for me because I have been a regular church attender for many many years. I think it's essential for that community, and I think it's essential to have folks that you are in agreement with and that you can just do life with. And since my old church was sold and disbanded, I've struggled to even find that. But then when I found my new church, I really liked it. I really love our priests. They were really wonderful men of God, and I may end up just, driving back over there. And if I do, that's okay. But bear with me till I can kind of get my bearings and get back on the motivational Monday thing. So this is the Advent season. So this is one of my favorite times a year because not only are we thinking about the coming of Messiah to earth in bodily form, we are also thinking about the second coming of Jesus when Jesus returns to earth as the conquering king. That's what we are thinking about. And we're thinking about as a new Anglican, we are thinking about um, preparing our hearts for the second coming of the Lord, which was something I never really considered when I was in a different type of denomination. But Anglicans do Advent and Easter very, very well. They really, really do. And if you have an opportunity to visit an Anglican church during the Advent season, I want to encourage you to do so because they are very honoring to the Lord and it's very, very meaningful. And I may just have to go just a couple of times just for the Advent just for the Advent portion. I may have to make the drive, but I don't know how you all feel about about that, about driving so far to church. I drove. Um, I've been driving to my church that I went to before I went to the Anglican church. I was driving 25 minutes to that church. And I really, really don't want to get in it. I would love to be in a situation where I'm not doing that anymore, because I really would love to find a church close. The church that I went to prior was not that, I mean, it was still within the same community, even though it was a bit of a drive. And I would like to find a church within the same community, because I really believe that that's where you can do the most good, is if you are in the community in which you live. I believe that's where you can really um, do God's work, if you're not worn out from making that drive every week. So, we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it'll go well. And I know the Lord's going to lead me, and I think that's been part of my not making a decision, is I just have not felt, and I hate to even use that word. Let me use this word. I haven't perceived, because I really like that word much better than led. I haven't perceived that anywhere I have visited since I've moved is where God wants me to be, for sure. I haven't felt that. I haven't perceived that. Not felt. I haven't perceived that. So I am going to wait until I do perceive that. And when I do, I'll let y'all know. So I'm going to use some liquid eyeshadow on this eye. So this is the week of Advent, the week of peace. And this is one thing I did want to tell you all during this Advent season, because I have been thinking a lot about peace, and I've been doing my Advent readings um, about peace. And it is really easy to let people during the holiday season get on your last nerve, for lack of a better way to put it, and to disturb your peace. It's really easy to do that. And I want to encourage you not to do that if you can help it. And I know it's hard if it's stressful and you're around relatives that do not bring peace with them wherever they go. In fact, they bring, drama and just the opposite of peace. And it's hard when you're around those people. And trust me, y'all, I understand that. I had situations like that with my ex-husband's family. They were very, um, for lack of a better word, and to use a kinder word, they were chaotic in a lot of their ways. Um, and that really made, holidays and events a little bit, could make it stressful. So one thing I did, and I don't mind sharing this with you all at all, is I determined when I went into a situation that I knew was going to be stressful during the holidays, with people who were, you know, kind of stressful people. Um, I determined before I went that I was not going to let my peace be disturbed, no matter what they brought up, no matter the topic, no matter whatever. I was not going to be disturbed. And there were topics there at the dinner table at times that I just don't have to give my opinion on. I don't have to give my opinion on every single thing that's talked about at the dinner table. Now, obviously, if it's something that is, a difference between, Christianity and atheism, I'm going to give my opinion. Okay. And, I'm going to defend the faith, but I don't have to give my opinion on we don't have to give our opinions on politics. We don't have to give our opinions on, you know, world affairs. We don't have to give our opinions on that to people who are not going to listen to us. And I have found often that when you're around people who are stress inducing people, um, you're not going to change their mind. No matter what you say, you are not going to change their mind because they thrive on that type of situation. They thrive on stress. So when you've got people who are thriving on stress and discord and drama, you are not going to change their mind. All you're going to do is create a situation where you're going to be upset. And I just don't do that anymore. I'll let them talk. They've got a right to say whatever they want to say. And I have a right to remain silent. And unless it gets way over the line, I'm normally like, well, I'll pray for you. God bless you. I'll pray for you because it's not worth disturbing my peace over. Now, thankfully, I don't have that situation in my life very often. I don't normally have, I make a pretty good effort to surround myself with people who are peaceful. And I don't have a lot of drama in my life. And if I do have friends that do create that sometimes, but what I have to do there is limit my contact with them, and that's okay. I love them, wonderful people, dear people, love the people who love the Lord, but I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to have that in my life and have my own peace disturbed because people are not peaceful people. Now, what does that actually mean? Does that mean I cut them out of my life? No, it just means I limit my contact with them to what is good for me and what is mentally healthy for me. Now, like I said, sometimes you have to be around people that are not peaceful. If you've got family members or friends that you're in contact with during the holiday. But if you determine ahead of time that you are not going to get upset or let them upset your day, that really does help. And sometimes all people need is a listening ear. They don't want you to agree with them. They just want you to listen. Listening and being heard are so close to love that most people cannot tell the difference because it feels very similar. When you listen to somebody and you hear their heart, a lot of times that is a way that you can really make them feel loved. So I would even go so far as to say if there are people in your life that you have difficulty loving, which we all have those people, just listen to them and they will feel loved because people don't listen anymore. And I know I'm guilty of that sometimes. I'm sitting there. Sometimes I'm like, I know what you're going to say, and I'm thinking about other things when people are talking. And I've tried, especially in the last um, 6 or 7 years, to not do that. I've really tried to engage in that moment when somebody is talking to me. And if we will do that, that really does help to keep your peace because that way you're not imagining scenarios that may or may not happen. And I am a what ifer in my thinking. Excuse me. I am a person who will what if a situation to death. I will think about it. I will say, well, what if this happens? If this happens, I will do that. And I am a planner and I'll try to think of the worst case scenario, excuse me, so that I can plan in case something happens, then I won't be surprised. Well, folks, God has not called us to live that way. In fact, he says, take no thought for tomorrow has trouble enough of its own. So when I am making these scenarios in my mind and I'm thinking about tomorrow, I'm basically saying, God, you can't handle this. You need my help, which is absolutely not true. And most of the time, the things I worry about, they never happen. They never come to pass. But even if they do, by thinking about it and worrying and fretting about it, I'm taking God totally out of the equation and basically saying that He's not going to move on my behalf, or that He's not going to give me peace in the situation, or He's going to take away my joy. Everything doesn't always turn out the way we want. That's life. But we can still have peace and joy in the midst of situation if we keep our focus on the Lord. It's my 2 cents anyway. Okay, y'all, I see a little random hair. Let me see if I can get that little rascal one. I can't get a hold of it, and I'm not going to sit here and try. But while I got my eye on it, I will grab my eyebrow shaver. I need to shave my eyebrows. They look boogery, too. That's what my grandmother used to say. Looks boogery, Elaine. But anyway, back to the topic. We don't want to remove the Lord from our equation. I can tell you, as a widow, when I was walking through the death of my husband and his illness, I'm going to say that there were times there when I did not sense the tangible presence of the Lord. I just didn't. I didn't sense that. I didn't have any perception of it. I didn't. I couldn't say, oh, I feel the Holy Spirit. I couldn't say that because I didn't. Now this is just going to get real here, because that was, some of the darkest days of my life. But after my husband died, I perceived the presence of the Lord stronger than I have ever felt it. Now, certainly in the last almost 11 years since Greg has been gone, there have been times when I did not feel that the Lord was, you know, tangibly present with me. But this is the time when we go back to God's Word and we look and we read and we study, and we know that what God said in His Word is true, regardless of how we feel, regardless of our human perception. The Bible tells us, I will never leave you, nor will I forsake you. And He is with us in the midst of the storm. And one verse I really like, and it's when the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will raise up a standard against him. And what that means is, when kings used to go into battle, they would fly a flag, or they would have a staff that had their emblem on top of it, or their symbol of their kinghood or their kingdom. And they had that on top of that pole. And when the king would ride into battle, they flew the king's standard ahead of the king and ahead of the army. By looking at that standard, that encouraged even if the king wasn't there, let's just say, because there were times kings didn't go into battle, even if the king wasn't there, the soldiers could look at that standard, know that standard represented the king, and that would encourage them to go forward into battle. Now, we don't have the tangible bodily presence of the Lord with us here today, but we can know without a doubt that He is raising up His standard against the enemy of our soul, who tries to come and steal our peace and our joy, especially during the Advent season. And it seems like around holy days like Christmas and Christmas and Easter and other, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and all of these holy days that, the church and the Jewish calendar celebrates, it seems like that the devil really is at work those days to try to steal our peace and joy and disrupt our lives. So We're not going to allow that. We're going to focus on the Lord, and we're going to be joyful and peaceful this Advent season, regardless of what comes. Regardless of what comes. In the worst, darkest days of our lives, we can still maintain our hope, and we can maintain our peace, because ultimately our hope is in the Lord, not on our circumstance. Our peace is in the Lord. The Bible tells us that He Himself is our peace, and He is. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I feel like, I just need a peace pill. I need something to give me some peace. But we have what we need to give us the peace. I have to remind myself, okay, you've got everything you need. Just focus on that. So I'm done, guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. May the Lord be with you. Maranatha, folks. Bye bye.